the particular speech tonight that he is going to present is a eulogy on Mr. Hank, the former chess patron of the Riverdale Library. Now, Kireet is in completing this project. You spent time obviously preparing for this social speech. And what I'm going to listen for is a well-organized, well-developed delivered speech with appropriate content for the type of speech that it is. And yes, and the title of that speech, Mr. Hank, when he started playing chess in high school, he was his former chess coach. In the late 90s, he was a role model and chess coach for several members of the Riverdale Library. So tonight I'd like to welcome up Kireet to give his social speech.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Evaluator, for the introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we often owe many experiences to the kindness that others have bestowed upon us. As we gather today to say goodbye to Mr. Hank, I personally bid adieu to one of my good chess coaches and a true Southern gentleman. I first met Mr. Hank when I was a sophomore at Riverdale High. At the time, he was already well known in Riverdale and sister libraries as a man of a few words, but strong conviction. You'd often find Mr. Hank with two things: a big wide smile and a Stetson hat. He never took off the hat. I should also say that at the time, I was still learning the American experience and still reeling from a relatively recent gang attack. And I'd used his chess coaching and free community service and sought comfort in that guidance and leadership he provided the community. Silence, please, was a sign that everybody listened to and abided by, but he was the exception. That's because Mr. Hank was the chess patron. He took a lot of troubled youth, young students, old players under his wing as chess students. And let me tell you, those were the days. We listened to his philosophies, his viewpoints, how he was spending his retirement, being an active church member, a community leader, and also a chess coach. He attributed all of his success largely to the discipline that chess instilled in him. He said that chess rules apply to life just as equally. I also learned a lot about African American history during African American History Month, when Mr. Hank narrated firsthand how the Jim Crow South evolved. At that moment, all the chess pieces appeared in stark contrast, and the nature of people, things, and the laws were becoming, and I was becoming aware of those laws. He also impressed upon us that all the chess pieces go back into the same box, like people in society. We have to coexist. And that it was his faith in the fellow man, it was his faith in all of us doing the right thing, standing by each other, helping each other around, that really made him feel proud of God's creation. While being a funny man, Mr. Hank was also a very gentle person. He was soft-spoken and handled his chess clocks with the utmost respect and care. He didn't make a sound, win or lose. And that's probably one of the most things I'll miss about him, his assuring smile. He would talk to somebody who lost a chess match and said, "It's okay. I was really afraid of your tactics. Oh boy, you intimidated me with your moves." And he would pass off all his wins as just luck. My fondest memory of Mr. Hank, however, was the time when my friends and I were asked to leave the library for being boisterous. We knew we were a rowdy bunch and loud, and we held our heads low in disappointment and shame when we started walking out of the library. I turned around to grab my jacket, and I was gobsmacked when I saw Mr. Hank walking out with his things and my book bag. That's when the librarian rushed to him and said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Hank, I don't want you to leave." He turned back, did not raise his voice, and said, I go where my friends go while giving us a little wink. We all knew that we were those chess pieces that were going back in flocks together. And we also knew in our hearts that this man was a good friend. We had a great friend in our chess coach. All my good memories of Mr. Hank will remain intact and live on the rare occasions that I visit Riverdale. But every time I play chess, the game that he so dearly